Hey gang, it's Piers again. I'm just going to show you guys the new mechanic that I added. This mechanic was put in by myself, but written up by Kingsley Murphy. His mechanic was essentially adding in whenever the interactable block drops into a pit, then it turns that pit into basically a tile floor, but we're calling it a tile bridge in this. So let me just launch my project here, and I will show you in real time. So as we move through here, I had to adjust some of the original levels to compensate for kind of the breaking the challenge thing that happened whenever I implemented this new mechanic. So I had a lot more interactable blocks around here, but I found that like you could really easily bypass a lot of the challenges in these puzzles if you just kind of push the interactable blocks into the holes. So that's a good example as to why it's important to go back and check your previous work to make sure that new mechanics do not like disturb the intended play of the previous levels that were invented before we had that mechanic. And that was kind of a real cool part of the iterative process. So as you can see, whenever I push the tiles into the holes, they turn into these little brown metallic bridges. I like to show, hold on, I like to show this part too because it shows that now I can access a new area that I would not have previously really been able to access as well with this beginning mechanic. So let me just push this block out of the way and carry on our way, unlocking this new thing. So these are all levels that previously existed, but in just a moment after I pass this one, we'll get to the newer stuff where you get to really start to learn how this new mechanic works. So this is my first level where you absolutely need to engage with the block mechanic to pass it. So first things first, we make a bridge across this gap. Then we make a bridge here. But we find out that we cannot do it with just one. So we will have to make a longer bridge. And that's another thing I like, is that the blocks actually slide across the bridge tiles as well, being that they inherit from the floor tile. So they have all the same functionality as a floor tile. And in a pretty simple way. Alright, so this is the part where you really start to use all of your mechanics to bypass the level. This is kind of like the final level of this little project that we've got going on here. So one thing we can do is make this longer bridge, but we haven't activated that tile yet, so we have to figure out how we gotta get across again. So we come back here, pass through our door that we've already activated, activate this, escape with our final bridge tile, and go to the wind tile. Alright, that brings us back here. So I'll quickly show you how this code works. So it's all on tile pit, which is an already existing tile. We didn't have to create a whole new one for this. We went ahead and added this in before the rest of the stuff that occurs on tile pit. So everything here with the comments, that's our stuff. So first thing we do is event unentered, call the parent. We cast to entity interactable box. That's whatever we are interacting with. We call current entity. And then we set the new tile type that we're going to change our pit to into the tile bridge. So we update the tile. We call that function that's already existing. I didn't write that. And then we just add a sound effect. So it's pretty straightforward. It's not exactly a super complicated method of getting this done. This is something I really like about this whole class in general, is that like when I first started this, I was overthinking things significantly, trying to like delete old tiles and call new tiles and everything. But I learned that you really just need to change one of the statistics that is in the blueprint for that object in general, which I thought was really interesting. Once you get your mind around that, like it becomes incredibly easy to implement new mechanics, which is something that I thought was really valuable to take away from this. Anyway, that's it. It's pretty much this. The the tile bridge itself, it doesn't really have any code attached to it. It's just a brown metallic bridge piece, static plane mesh, that gets added in, inheriting everything that it has from tile floor. that pretty much covers it. This has been a really good class, and thanks for watching.